Hello, Palmetto Art Center friends. LaRae Brownywell here with our yoga flow class this week. I've got some props. If you don't have props, don't worry. But if you think you might want blocks and you have yoga blocks, hit pause and grab those. These also could be any kind of object to place under your hands. Could be a book. We will use the yoga strap at the end of this class. If you do not have a yoga strap, don't worry. You could use a bath towel. You could use a belt. You could use a necktie. Anything that is long enough to put on the bottom of your foot to do the leg stretches at the end. With that said, we'll make our way to the top of the mat. Align the feet underneath your hips. Take a moment and stand tall. Feel your weight in your feet. Feel your feet touching the floor. Notice if you lean more into your toes or your heels, and try to find yourself more balanced between them. Notice if you favor your left or your right leg. Once again, try to find balance between them. Bring the attention inward to your breath. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Add movement. Inhale, lift the arms up and overhead. Exhale, guide the palms down to the heart. Inhale, arms sweep and lift. Exhale, palms gather at the heart. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, lift up. This time, exhale, swan dive and fold your body forward. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Let your head hang heavy, nod the head yes. Shake the head no. Bending the knees enough that we can plant our palms and walk our legs back to downward facing dog, coming into an inverted V. Hips lifting up and back, head hanging neutrally between the arms. Try to press all the way out into your fingertips. Stretch your heels towards the floor. They don't have to arrive. Mine haven't arrived yet. Start to walk your dog. Press one heel towards the mat as you bend the other knee. And switch sides. Pedaling out the legs, creating some space. Observing how the body feels as we create that space today. Take one more step on each side. Stretch both heels equally down towards the floor. Lower to the knees into all fours. Knees under hips, wrists under the shoulders, moving into cat and cow. Fists as wrists, an alternative if we need that. If doing fists, I like palms facing in. You could also always double up your mat under your knees if your knees need that additional cushioning today. Exhale into cat. Lift your back. Drop your head and your tailbone down. Inhale to cow. Lower the belly, lift the tailbone, and lift the crown of the head. Exhale to cat. Lift your back, head and tailbone, dropping heavy. Inhale, cow. Lower your belly, lift your tailbone, and lift the crown of the head. One more time. Exhale, cat. Round your back. Inhale, cow. Lower your belly, lift your head. Come to a neutral back for spinal balance. Send your left leg back. Reach the right arm forward. Take a breath in. As you exhale, the elbow and the knee pull in towards each other. Inhale, arm and leg stretch long. Exhale, elbow, knee pulling in. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. One breath. One movement. Keep your jaw relaxed. Move with your breath. One more time. Reach out long and hold. Stay long or add in the bind, bending the left knee and reaching the right hand back. Other way, hug your belly towards your back. If you're finding your foot, maybe kick the foot into your hand. Jaw unclenched, awareness on the breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. Long inhale, long exhale. Take 2 more breaths. Return the hand and the knee to the mat. Second side, right leg goes back. Left arm stretches forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, the elbow and the knee pull in towards each other. Inhale, stretch the arm, the leg long. Exhale, the elbow, the knee pull in. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. 1 breath. 1 movement. Jaw relaxed. Move with breath. 1 more time. Reach long and hold. Stay long or bind. Bend the right knee, left hand back. Either way, a little tone in the belly. If you're finding your foot, maybe kick the foot to your hand. Keep the jaw unclenched. Attention on the breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. Long inhale. Long exhale. Take 2 more breaths. Return the hand, the knee to the mat. Sit the hips to the heels into a child's pose. Let the spine round over the thighs. Let your head relax. Breathe into your back ribs. Try to feel the breath. Lift your back ribs. As you exhale, try to feel how your ribs hug a little more inward. Inhale, try to feel the expansion of the back of your rib cage. Exhale, feel the gentle drawing in. Take 1 more breath here. Remember that child's pose is always an option to your body at any breath during our movement practice today. You are always invited to rest when needed. Inhale, rise up to a kneeling plank. Exhale, bend the elbows, go halfway down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, the hips back to the heels. Inhale, rise to a kneeling plank. Exhale, bend halfway. Inhale, push up. And exhale, hips sit back to heels. 1 more time. Inhale, rise to kneel. Exhale, bend and hover. Inhale, pushing up. And exhale, hips sit back to heels. Make a few wrist circles. Make a few circles the other way. Inch the fingertips out, tuck the toes, hips lifting back up to downward facing dog. Your body's path, feet are gonna come to the hands. You could step, you could hop, you could walk your way there. Feet come to hands into a forward bend. Put a little bend in the knees, more bend if your back needs less. Let your head hang. With a slight bend in the knees, inhale the arms out and up, legs straight. And as we rise, exhale, palms gather at the heart. Moving into sun salutations, we'll do our kneeling variation of this movement, and you can always stick with that if that's best to your body today. Inhale, heart and hands lift. Exhale, swan dive and fold the body forward. Left foot steps back, lower down to the knee into a kneeling lunge. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, the hands come down. Right knee joins the left. Hips sit to heels into child's pose. Inhale up to a kneeling plank. Exhale, bend your elbows, go halfway down. This time, go all the way down. Inhale, lift your heart, little cobra, little back bend. Exhale, press your hips up and back to the heels into child's pose. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, left foot forward, kneeling lunge. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, hands to mat, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, arms sweeping out and up to the sky. Exhale, chair pose, have a seat, and bring your arms in front. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we fold. Right foot steps back, lower to the knee, kneeling lunge. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hands to mat, left knee joins the right. Hips sit to heels, child's pose. Inhale, kneeling plank. Exhale, elbows bend, and we lower. Inhale, pick the heart up, little cobra, little back bend. Exhale, hips up and back. Return, child's pose. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, right foot forward, kneeling lunge. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to mat, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, arms float out and up. Exhale, chair, have a seat, arms in front. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swan dive and fold. Left foot steps back, full lunge, option to kneel. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to mat, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank or choose to kneel. Exhale, bend the elbows. Rise up dog or tummy on the mat in that cobra pose. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Left foot forward lunge. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to mat, stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale, arm sweep out and up. Exhale, chair, have a seat, arms in front. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swan dive and fold. Right foot steps back, full lunge. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to mat, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank or kneel. Exhale, elbows bend. Rise up dog or cobra. Back to downward facing dog. Right foot forward lunge. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands to mat, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, chair, arms in front. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Let your head hang for a moment, nod the head yes. Shake the head no. Step back with your left foot. Lower to the knee, kneeling lunge. Left hand under the shoulder, stretch your right arm up. If you need support under this hand, you can put your block or your book, whatever you're choosing, underneath that hand. Shoulder wants less, do hand at hip. If your body is craving more, bending that left knee, right hand foot an option. Left forearm could go down to your block or your book, or if reasonable, your left forearm could come to the mat. These are all variations on the same pose, so you might be in the first one, hand to mat, hand to sky. Put a little hug between your shoulder blades, think of turning the center of the chest to the ceiling. Keeping the jaw relaxed, attention on the breath. In through the nose, and out through the nose. Long inhale, long exhale. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Come out of that rotation. Right knee comes back to join the left into all fours. Switching legs, we'll bring that left foot now forward into our kneeling lunge. Right hand under the shoulder, or put that hand on your block or your book. Left arms to the sky, or we go hand to hip. Could bend that right knee, left hand to foot. Could be that right forearm to your mat or your block. All variations of the same pose. Find the one for you. Hug between your shoulder blades. Turn your chest towards the ceiling. Attention on the breath, in through the nose, out through the nose. Long inhale, long exhale. 2 more breaths. Coming out of that twist and into all fours. Sit the hips back towards the heels into a child's pose. Take a breath. Lifting into all fours. Kneeling side plank. Let's take our right foot, pivot it to the right, send the left leg back, and reach the right arm up. If this is bothering your shoulder, do the hand at the hip. If it's okay with your shoulder, bring the arm by your ear. That leg that is straight, think of really pressing it into the floor. Press that straight leg foot into the floor, and then try to bounce that energy through your side, through your arm, and out through your fingertips. Get super long. Try to feel space through the side of the body. Take a breath into that space you're creating. Let's take one more breath here. Bring that arm to the ceiling. Stay here, or the option to lift that leg. I like to inch my bottom hand just an inch or two more forward to do that. If you're lifting that leg, flex that foot, press out through that heel, and think of lifting from your side and your outer hip. And then from your seat, press out through your heel. So whole body engaged in that reach of the leg. Check your face, soft face, try to look like you're enjoying it. Last option, we can bend that knee, hand to foot. We can even kick that foot to the hand, spin our chest to the sky. Again, that variation that works for you, all just the same pose, done slightly different. Fit your body to the pose variation that's best for you. Take another breath. If we found the bind, we'll go back to the length, return that hand and knee to the mat, sit the hips to the heels. If you're feeling it in that wrist, make some circles. And then some circles going the other direction. Come up, we'll go to the second side. So this time we'll be kickstanding that left leg to the side and sending that right leg back. And our right arm comes to the ceiling. We check in, does our shoulder, knee, hand to hip? If it does, we'll allow for that. If it's reasonable, we'll take that arm by the ear. Really press that straight legs foot into the floor. Stretch and reach down through that foot. Lengthen out through that arm. How long can you get through your side? Again, that imagery that we're pressing into the foot and then bouncing that energy out through our fingertips. Feel the spaciousness in your side body and breathe there. Let's take another breath. Bring the arm back to the ceiling. Maybe you inch that bottom hand out just a little bit, and then we could lift that top leg. We don't have to. If we're lifting, we'll think of using our whole side body to do it and our outer hip. We'll press out through that heel all the way from the bottom of the seat, the whole leg active here. Check in with your face, let go of tension there. Last option, we can bend that knee, hand to foot. We don't have to. What's good for you here? Maybe kicking that foot to hand, maybe chest to the sky. Breathe no matter what. If we add that bind, we'll go back to the long, hand and knee to the mat, sit the hips to the heels. Maybe you're circling that wrist. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Let your head hang, maybe a few petals of the feet. Feet make their way to the hands. How are you getting there? You could step, you could hop, you could walk. Feet to hands into our forward bend. A little bend in the knees. Inhale, arms float out, up to the sky. Exhale, palms gather at the heart. We'll step into a wide stance on the mat so our feet are about as wide as our wrists and our feet are parallel to the short sides of the mat. Start by pivoting your right foot towards the right. Lift the arms, triangle. Reaching forward, left hand lowers to your leg, your mat, or if you're using a block or some other type of support, could be a book under that hand. This top arm's to the ceiling, but if that shoulder wants less, choose that hand at the hip. Bending the knee is an option. If you are not bending that knee, try to firm your leg. Try to draw your kneecap up, draw in through your center. Think of that side plank we were just doing, where we're bouncing that energy from our foot, press into the foot here, and then send that energy up your side, out through the crown of the head, and out through your fingertips. Soften the face. Be aware of the breath, in through the nose, out through the nose. Long inhale, long exhale. Let's take another breath. Stand strong, inhale, lifting up, and turn those toes in. We're gonna go to the second side. So if you're using that prop and you want it for the other side, go ahead and migrate it to the second side. Now we've got that right foot parallel with the short side of the mat. Turn the left toes to the left, arms float up. Reach forward, lower that hand, leg, mat, your block or your book. Is this arm to the ceiling, or is hand at hip better to your body? Is bending the knee where you need to be, or is straightening the leg reasonable? Can you firm that leg? Can you draw up your kneecap and tone your thigh here? Think of that side plank. Press into your foot. Center that energy. Send it up through your side, out through the crown of the head, out through your fingertips. Jaw soft. Attention to the breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. Long inhale. Long exhale. Let's take 2 more breaths. Stand strong in those legs. Inhale, come up. Turn that foot back in. Again, feet are wide and parallel. Hinging forward, hands to the mat. Could be on the blocks if you're using those today, or a book. If finding the floor is relatively easy for you, you could start to bend the arms and sink down further. Try to let your neck relax no matter where your body is arriving in this pose today. Variation of hands to ankles is available. Your shoulders are going to want to really hang out by your ears here. Try to oppose that by lifting the shoulders towards the ceiling. Just like in that triangle pose, can you lift your kneecaps? Find your breath here. In through the nose and out through the nose. Long inhale. Long exhale. Take 1 more breath. Come back onto the hands if you took another option. Feet are coming under the hips. We could step them in, we could wiggle them in, or we could take a little hop. Feet under the hips. Allow for a bend in the knees as you roll your way up to stand. Pyramid pose. Maybe you'll want your props. Go back to that wide stance, but have it not quite as wide before. So now if we reached our arms out, our feet would not be underneath our hands, but in a little closer. Taking that right foot, turning to the right, this back foot, we've got it pointing to the long side of the mat. We're gonna pivot that foot too. So now that it is pointing to the upper corner of the mat. So our hips are facing the short side. Sliding down our front leg to pyramid, hands on the leg, hands on the mat, or you could use blocks or books underneath your hands here. Let your head relax. Bending the knee is allowed. If you're going straight, that same thing. Can you draw up your kneecap? Let your head hang. Notice, is there more body weight in your front foot here? It is highly likely. If you feel that is true for you, try to press your back foot's heel to the mat. I like to think of pressing the back of my thigh away to help root that heel down. Relax your jaw. Find a few breaths here. Take another breath. If you need to, stay here. Otherwise, we're going to play with balancing half moon, which is very similar to our kneeling side plank, except not kneeling now. So if you need to, stay here, but maybe experiment with the idea of this next pose with me. You have that option of blocks or books or something under your hands to make your arms longer. Bend your front knee, walk your hands or your hands and your blocks forward about the length of your torso. Make sure that your hands are wide like your shoulders and that your hands are not lining up with your foot. Your hands should be wider than your foot. Lift your back leg. This leg could be bent. If we can, we'll straighten it. See how it's like the kneeling side plank with our leg lift. Remain here or go right hand to hip or right arm to the ceiling. Maybe you bend the knee. Maybe you're like, this is crazy. What is she talking about? That's okay. Lots of options. Maybe you're in the pyramid pose. Maybe you're just trying to lift that back leg and you're lifting it and putting it down. We'll meet in a forward bend, hands and feet to the mat. Bend your knees a lot. If you're using the props, take them with you as you roll up to stand. So we can go to the second side. So we'll come back to that medium wide stance. If we're using the props, they're going to go to the other side of the mat this time. Left foot turns to the left. Back foot, we want to angle it to that upper corner of the mat. We're trying to send both our hips to the short side of the mat. Walking down on that leg. Maybe hands on blocks. Hand could be on your leg. Hand could be on the mat. Folding over that left leg now. Letting our head relax. Bending our knee if we need to. Trying to root into that back heel. Think of pressing your back thigh away from you to help you do that. Soften your face. Find your breath. Check in. How are you doing? Are you stressing about the next pose? That half moon. Don't worry about it. Take a few breaths here. Try to let go of expectations about the next pose. We're just going to see what happens. Balancing half moon. Stay here if you absolutely need to. Otherwise, we're going to play with it. Bend your front knee. Walk your hands forward on blocks or books, or they could be on the mat. Again, make sure your hands are wide like your shoulders and they're wider than your foot. Your foot, if we drew a line through it, should come somewhere between the hands, not in line with one of them. Lift your back leg. This leg could stay bent. Maybe that was a big challenge. You just do that a few times. If you're ready, you lift and hold. Feel how it's the kneeling side plank with that leg lifted. When you're ready, doesn't have to be ever, but if it's today, left hand could come to hip. Left arm could come to ceiling. The option to bend the knee. Again, maybe you're like, that is just crazy. That's fine. Don't do it. Do one of the others. Your choice today. Take a breath. How are you doing? Were you able to accept, to be kind to yourself if it didn't go as you had hoped it would? Let's take another breath. We'll leave our props down here. So we make our way up. Stand tall. Balancing upright. Balance is challenging. Balance is challenging for me, and I've been practicing for a long time. So we'll just see what happens happens, be forgiving and kind to yourself, working on balance. Wall, if you need it, stand close to one on your mat. If your mat is very thick, I recommend just standing on the bare floor because you'll have less give for your ankle. Stand on the right foot, left heel at the ankle and hands drawn to heart. Stand tall, like we've been talking about. Try to lift your kneecap. Then when ready, this foot comes up. It might be just to your ankle. It might be to your calf, or it could be up on your inner thigh. Find a focal point, something that's not gonna move. I can't guarantee that's me. I might move on you. Staying here, we add the arms. Does lifting the arms help you? Does it make it more challenging? Does it not really have much of a difference? There's no right or wrong answer. Try to take another breath here. And then we'll try the other side. So that's gonna be standing on our left leg. We start with the right heel of the ankle, hands at heart, stand tall. Try to firm your leg, kneecap lifting. Foot gliding up, ankle, your calf, your inner thigh, a good place for you today. Find a focal point, something that's not gonna move. And then maybe we add those arms. What do the arms do for you? Do they help? Does it start to throw you off? Is it the same amount of challenge, just your arms are somewhere else? Let's take another breath. And release. We'll come back to the top of our mat if we're not already there. Inhale, stretch the arms tall. Exhale, swan dive, fold yourself forward. Step back to one knee, followed by the other. Hips sit towards heels, child's pose. Walk the hands over to the right and lengthen the left side. Walk the hands over to the left and lengthen the right side. Come back to center. And come into a seat. We'll come into a seat. Maybe we'll have a strap or a towel or a belt handy, but it's not required. Sliding the legs long. Think of that tree pose we just did. We're gonna do a similar thing with the legs, but in a seated position. Gliding that right foot somewhere inside that leg. Could be at your ankle, could be up higher. As you sit, notice if your rib cage is going somewhere between your two legs. It probably is. See if you can turn your rib cage towards your straight leg. Then we'll come out over it. Your hands might land somewhere on your leg. If you find your foot, you can do that. If you're on your leg, but you are wishing you could come to that foot, you could always use something to make your arms longer. Maybe it's a belt, maybe it's a necktie. Maybe it's a yoga strap onto the bottom of the foot. So hands on the leg just fine. You have some way to connect your foot, do that. Let your neck follow the line of your spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, let your body soften into the shape, any amount. Inhale, feel how your body rises a little bit. Exhale, feel how your body softens slightly into the pose. Inhale, feel a little bit of a lift. Exhale, feel a drawing in. Let's take one more breath here. And rise. We'll set our prop to the side if we utilized it. That knee that's out to the side, we'll bring it up to twist. Foot could be in front of us or it could jump over that leg and be on the outside. Taking our left hand to our right shin, right hand beside you. Use that to get tall and then twist. Think of lifting and twisting. Stay here, or if it's reasonable, the elbow could come outside the thigh. Keep lifting tall as you invite your body to rotate around the axis of the spine. Hold the pose, but not your breath. Find your breath here. See if you can feel how your breath is a little restricted in rotation. Take another breath. Unwind. We'll release this leg back out long. Second side, we'll take that left foot somewhere on the inside of the right leg. It could be all the way down at the ankle, or maybe it comes up higher. We'll notice that our rib cage is probably between the two legs, and we'll try to turn it towards that straight leg. Walk out over it. Hands could be on the leg. Finding the foot, that's great. Welcome to be here. If you want to find the foot, you could always use something to give yourself longer arms. Let your neck follow the line of your spine. Relax your face. Inhale. Exhale, let your body soften into the pose. Inhale, feel how your body lifts a little. Exhale, feel your body sink a little. Inhaling, the body becomes a little lighter. Exhale, the body sinks into the pose. Inhale, a little lighter. Exhale, sinking in. Let's take one more breath. Rising up. If we used a prop, we'll set it to the side. That knee we've got out to the side, we'll bring it up inside the leg or out to the outside of the leg. Twist. Taking our right hand to that left shin, left hand beside the body, get tall, and then within that length, twist. Respect your body, so don't force the twist, but encourage it. If it's reasonable, elbow could slide outside that thigh. Inhale, lift tall through the crown of your head. Exhale, invite your body into that rotation. Notice your breath. Notice how the rotation affects your breath. Take another breath. And unwind. We're going to find our way onto the back. This is where we'll want that prop, yoga strap, belt, towel, necktie. If you haven't gotten one yet, no, you can always hit that pause, find your prop, and come back and restart the video from where we left off. We're going to lay on the back, have your strap or your strap substitute handy. We'll place it on the bottom of the right foot. What does your body need here? If your body needs your left knee bent, do that. That might be easier on your back. If your body wants your left leg straight, allow for that. Soften your shoulders and your face. Stretch up through that heel towards the ceiling. Relax. Relax your body into the floor. Soften your shoulders into the mat. Take another breath here. Giving our strap to our left hand, bring the foot towards the left, but keep this right hip down so you're not going to go very far. Foot comes towards the left. I like to use this hand and kind of keep my hip pressing back towards the floor. I even press my thumb a little bit into my thigh. Leg back to center. Give the strap to the right hand, draw the leg out to the right. Try to keep that left side anchored. Here I like to take my left hand on my left hip point and I press it towards the back so my pelvis would like to rock to the right here. Bring the leg back to center. Switching legs, we'll give the strap or belt or necktie or beach towel to that left foot. Right knee bent if we need it, otherwise we'll slide it long. Press up through that left heel to the ceiling, soften your torso towards the mat. Soften your shoulders. Relax your face and breathe. Give the strap to the right hand. Bring the foot across towards the right, but don't let your left hip come off the mat. You could even use your hand to help press that hip towards the mat, or you could press your thumb a little bit into your thigh. Leg comes back to center. Give the strap to the left hand. Draw the leg out to the left. Anchor that right side. It's going to want to lift up. Maybe use your hand to press your right hip point towards the floor. Bring the leg back to center. Remove your strap. Set it to the side. Hug your knees to your chest and take a little rock side to side. Setting up for our relaxation pose, I'll give you a few options. One is knees bent. Let your knees fall into each other. This can be a very relaxing shape for your hip flexors and your low back, if you need that. Legs can go long, just let your feet fall out to the side. Or the legs up the wall variation and option. If you do that, you just bring your hips close to a wall, lay back, and slide them up it. So your relaxing position, flat on the mat, knees bent, or legs up a wall. Coming into our rest pose. Invite in a moment of rest. Close your eyes. Soften your eyes. One more time, relax your jaw. Relax your throat. Soften the shoulders into the earth. Let your hips be heavy on the floor. Relax your legs, let them be supported, whether they're supporting each other with the knees together. Maybe they're being supported by your mat or your wall. Feel your body breathing. The rise and fall of breath. For a moment, melt into the floor. Know you're welcome to stay in this rest position as long as you would like or have time for. If you're ready to move, we'll begin to wiggle our toes, our fingertips. Rock the head a little side to side. Bend one knee in towards the chest, then the other. Roll the body to one side. Push your way up into a seat. Sit in a way that's good for you. Take a moment and notice, how do you feel? Inhale, lift the arms up and overhead. Exhale, guide the palms down and into the heart. The spirit in me honors the spirit within you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today, and be well. Hope to see you soon.